let's move into the question of the week.
All right.
So this week, a reader asked a question in response to that very post about gifting hotel
Right.
stays and miles and all this that.
The
And
answer
they
is no, you cannot gift your Marriott free night certificate
there's no way.
because
There's no way.
Nick.
Can't do it because of me. Because of me.
No, what was
so
their question?
so the reader said, I'd love to see the same post for airline miles and also for transferable currencies. They'd like to see that post for gifting your airline stuff to somebody. And I responded to them, thought to myself, well, that would be a very short post, right? I mean, like, what is there to say about that? And I got to thinking about it and I was like, well, maybe it wouldn't be that short because obviously you could, for example, gift your global upgrade certificates. You just have to be willing to fly on the flight, as anybody who's
Right.
been following along knows, because Greg is doing that with me. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, see the link in the show description. But what about airlines that let you pool miles? Can you name 5 airline programs that allow you to pool miles? Because my thought when they
Uh,
said this was like, I mean, that's got to be less than what would fit on a single hand, right? And I was
I,
surprised to
I
find,
might be able to do it by cheating. And here's what I
oh,
mean.
what are you
I'm
gonna
gonna I'm gonna count. Well, no, I guess that wouldn't be fair. I was gonna say I'm gonna count British Airways and Aer Lingus and Iberia because
do? You can pull
because
you can pull your Avios
you can
together.
pool them, but I think you can only really do the pool on the British Airways side. Now you
Yeah, I
can
think so.
move them from one to the other, so sort of. But anyway, let's count that
Yeah,
as
let's count that
one.
as one. Can you name
Um,
5?
Virgin Atlantic will let you do it if you have gold status, so
Oh,
that's
I didn't even know that.
2.
There you go.
Air
Okay.
Canada will
Hmm.
let you do it, so that's
Wow. Yeah.
3.
Yeah.
Spirit,
Spirit
right?
does. That's right.
Right?
Yeah. If you got the credit card or
4.
elite status, yeah, that's 4.
Oh boy. I'm
He's
sure
stuck.
there's I'm
He's
sure there's
stuck.
another one out there. I don't know what it
Stuck.
is.
Well, Emirates will allow you to
Oh,
pool
there you
miles,
go.
so you
So
can
so we've got
have a family
5.
pool with Emirates. Believe it or not, I Googled it because I was like, I could,
I don't
I
believe
think,
it.
I think Etihad. Yeah, I know, right? I mean, you were like, I don't know if you don't believe that I Googled it or don't
Yep,
believe that there's
that's
more
what I
than
don't
5,
believe.
but,
Yeah.
but, but I was surprised because I thought, I mean, there's got to be only 2 or 3, right? I think Etihad maybe lets you do it, but then I found that Frontier lets you do it, and there's a whole bunch of different ones. I came across a post actually from Summer Hall at the Points Guy with
Oh,
22 airline programs that let you pool miles, and I was like, "What? There's 22? Huh?"
wow. Wow.
So believe it or not, there are quite a few. So now I'm curious about how many programs can pool because I imagine that there could even be some more that aren't in that resource, and what other things you can gift with airlines. Because
Right?
I thought to myself, there's nothing to say about that topic. Like I could
Yeah.
answer that in 2 sentences and we'd be done with it. And then I realized, wow, actually, no, there are quite a few, and it might be useful information because I look at things like, for example, I didn't just mention this, but is it Aegean? I don't know how you pronounce it. The Greek airline. So
Ah,
that airline program allows you to pool if you have elite status, then you can pool
mhm.
miles. And so I've written recently about opportunities. They've had a few opportunities where you could pick up free miles where you just had to sign up for an account. You got like 5,000 miles. And recently there was something else. You had to claim the gift and get an extra 1,000. And if you ever end up getting to elite status with them, you may then be able to pool miles with your family and put those free miles that you've picked up together. So that might be a useful thing to know which airlines you can do that with. The other reason I thought
Sure.
about it was because of the Brex bonus and the fact that Emirates miles are poolable. So
Oh,
you can
okay.
put
Yeah.
those together. If you had a couple of people with LLCs with the accounts that are in the 110,000 miles, you could put them together into one pile of, if you had 2 of them, 220,000 Emirates miles.
Right.
So,
Another thing would be good in that post. We often get asked whether you can book an award for somebody else, and on almost all airlines you can, but there are a few that make it really difficult to do that. So, it might be nice just to have a section making it clear that I wouldn't list all the ones where you can, but
right.
make it clear that you can, and maybe list a few where
Where you can't.
like Korean, where you have to jump through mighty hoops to do anything like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Korean, I think ANA has kind of a restrictive policy, though they may not
Yeah.
enforce it as strongly as Korean seems to. But yeah, again, that's another thing where my instinct would have been when somebody asks, can you book a flight for somebody else? I'd be like, yeah, you can always book a flight for somebody else. But it's not quite always the case. It's usually the case. You can use your miles to book for anybody you want, but there are some exceptions. So yeah, so I thought
Yeah.
that was an interesting question because I thought the answer was simpler than it was. So I'll have to take another look at that. And I'm impressed, Greg, that you did get to 4. You didn't quite get to 5. You were
I
close,
didn't.
but you did
I
get to
feel
4.
bad about that, but yeah,
That's
4 out of 5 ain't bad.
right,
I
right.
think that was a song from way back. Yeah.
Very good. All right. Well, my friends, that brings us to the end of today's episode. If you've enjoyed what you've been hearing about and you'd like to read our posts and get them in your inbox each day, you want to go to frequentmiler.com/subscribe. Again, that's frequentmiler.com/subscribe to get on our email list, join our Facebook group, follow us on Twitter, and all the rest of that. If you're watching this on YouTube, please hit subscribe, ding the notifications bell, leave us a comment, give us a like, do that on whatever podcast platform you're listening on to. We appreciate all that kind of feedback. Thank you very much for being here with us, and we'll see you again next week.
Yeah, and be careful out there. Practice safe gift card buying, wear gloves.
Careful, folks. Careful.
And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.